Welcome back, everybody. My name is All Fun and Games. I stream every day on Twitch TV, and I make fun little videos here on YouTube. One thing I'm going to be doing today, though, it might not be so fun. We're going to attempt to do a hardcore run on Core Keeper. Now, previously we did it with a few friends. Unfortunately, they are wanting to sit on the sidelines on this one. They're not really ready for hardcore mode, so I said, you know what? Let's see how far I can get. Now, if you don't know what hardcore mode is in Core Keeper, well, let's show you. So first, you're going to make your world. Let's call this one hardcore YouTube. Oh, I can't even put that in there. Let's backspace at YouTube. And let's make it look, there we go, a little dragon. Of course, we're not going to use a previous character. So let's call our character, wait, I didn't ask me my character name. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's make my character name, what are we going to call our character name? Let's call him Stevie. All right, so Stevie, we're just going to randomize, wait, there we go. Boom. No. There we go, little Stevie. Okay. Here we go as we venture into our hardcore run on Core Keeper. We've already went through the intro before, so no need to look at it. Okay, so obviously in Core Keeper, if you've played this before, you can realize how hard this is going to be. I don't see myself getting very far. I would be surprised if I managed to kill the slime boss, honestly. As you can tell in my previous runs, you know, I did a lot of like the helping with the boss fights. But honestly, I don't see myself getting that far. But, you know, who knows? We'll see what happens. I noticed that I didn't actually choose a class. Wait a minute. Did I mess that up? Let's go back. Let's get out of here. Let's do this once more. Stevie. Unfortunately, we might have to say goodbye to Stevie. Is it just me or did I not choose a class? Okay, so let's go back to Hardcore YouTube. Click on a character. Click on Hardcore. On. Yes. Oh, that's why. Okay, so I did choose, it's because when I went to randomize, it randomized my character perks. Okay, so Stevie 1, we'll call you Stevie 1. There, let's change, whatever, hair color. I want it to be nice and red. And Stevie 1. Then we definitely want the lantern. I want my perks to be different though. Let's go with a miner. No. You know what? I do want the explorer. Running skill, food rations. Yes, perfect. Because you always want to start out with that little lantern. Okay, see, even I mess up. Look, I'm not even in hardcore mode. I'm already screwing up a little bit, but that's okay. We'll continue with Stevie 1. Stevie, unfortunately, didn't make it. Now, one thing I was actually gonna kind of mention before is I noticed that you can't delete worlds. If anybody knows how to do that, let me know. I'm trying to figure that out. I have a few worlds that I don't even need to keep anymore, and I don't even know how to delete them. I'm pressing the delete key, press the Q key, press like a bunch of other things, and nothing shows up. Okay, so now that I have my lantern, yay! Okay, we did it. And let's get started. Now, these videos are going to be about 30 minutes long a piece. I don't really want to run them on too long. I want to make sure that, you know, they're not super duper long, but I also want to learn from my mistakes in my regular world. The other option was that I was going to do like a beginner's guide, but I feel like when it comes to Core Keeper, the best beginner guide you can actually do is just, you know, play along, play with, you basically do a few rounds and see how you play, because everyone has different play styles. It's very hard to do a beginner's guide for a game like this, I think, because all in all, you know, you can kind of just try to walk through as much as you can, but in the end, everything's, you know, everyone has their own variations of their world. All world seeds are different. So it really just depends. So, okay, so let's go ahead and organize our stuff. We'll keep this here, keep our root seed for later on. Let's begin making some torches as we always do. Make a few of these just in case. And let's get making our base looking nice. Boom, boom, boom. Now, because we're doing a hardcore run, I'm not really going to be focusing on making my base look immaculate, because at any point in time I can die. And just so you know, when you die in hardcore, you die in hardcore. There is no, oops, I have to go back now. So unfortunately, what's going to happen is when we die, we die. You know, the options at that point is yes, you can leave and rejoin with a new character, starting basically from scratch. You would start at 0 perks and all that other stuff. But I want to make it kind of enjoyable, and I want to kind of make me feel like I'm not going to just keep dying and rejoining with a new character each time. So I really want to just see how far I can last without, perishing. And then once I do perish, I may or may not join it with a new character or start a new world. I'll make the decision as time goes. Hopefully I last longer than a few minutes. Who's to say I will, but I don't know exactly. But let's hope I do. I'm going to go back. I want to put down a little tiny thing here, and then I want to get a few of these, and I also want to make sure that I have some of these on me already. Okay, there we go. I usually actually just make those right away, but I forgot to do that this time. You know what? Now that I have this, let's make it. Oh, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing. I need copper. That's right. Okay, let's put those away. I have enough inventory space right now that like you don't actually have to worry about focusing on like inventory space right away, just because early game you're really just trying to get copper. Now I'm not going to get attacked by slimes. One thing that I recently realized is that kind of going through a lot of my videos, I noticed that regular slimes they actually don't aggro you. So they're actually the only mob in the game that basically does not aggro you, aside from what the little larva spawners are. And the larva spawners are literally just larva spawners. So they will not actually come after you, but the spiky slimes will. So if you ever encounter like a regular slime, don't even hit it. You don't even need to do that. You can just walk right past it. It won't hurt you. You can actually run up to it. I'll do it again here. They don't actually hurt you for very much. And keep in mind, you don't actually take more damage in a hardcore like character. It's still the same idea. You're still going to take the same amount of damage that you would normally. It's just that your character will die like when not come back, right? So just to let you know about that. Okay, so we gotta get back into our strip mining days. So I'm just doing this right now just to collect some sand. One thing I'm going to start doing too, which is something that I forgot to do in my last world, when I'm pretty sure if you guys are caught up at this point, I don't put down a lot of torches. Now early game I wouldn't put down a lot of torches, just because obviously that wood's kind of scarce until you find like a deposit of it. But that being said, like obviously it just depends on if you're focusing on getting a lot of wood right away, or if you just want to skip over to making your path look nice. So I want to focus on keeping a little bit of my wood available. All right, so let's go ahead and smelt that. Then I can quickly make a cooking pot, and then I can quickly make a copper sword. And I think I have more than enough for this, so I got a few of those smelting. I really just want a copper pickaxe. I really do not like the wood pickaxes. They're pretty useless. Now, remember, you want to keep, at least for now, you want to keep all your broken wood pickaxes. You can also keep them. You don't necessarily need to get rid of them right now. One thing I might suggest doing is just making more than one copper. I mean, of course, this is a hardcore run. I'm not really going to focus too much on telling you guys what to do, but of course, if you're following along to try to, last a long time like I am, you're going to want to obviously, make your own route. I mean, the thing is with Core Keeper is making your own route, right? Like you don't necessarily want to follow somebody else's tactics, because something that you do could be much better than mine, and who's to say I might last a long time? I'm not too sure. I'm going to basically focus on trying to beef up my character as much as I can before even going into the first boss. But I do know that going against the slime, the devourer, and all that other stuff, my big thing is literally just going to be going straight into none other than spikes. When we were playing with friends, there's like this like hidden meme in like my community where anytime a game has spikes or something to do with spikes, I always want to build something with spikes, because like they help out so much. And when spikes were found in Core Keeper, they're like, oh, here we go, like this is crazy. Of course Travis is going to be using spikes, but you know what, guess what? They work flawless. So I had to laugh a lot like when that happened, because I was like, I knew right away they were going to say something. But yeah, spikes are definitely the best way currently to kill the first few bosses. Now, the thing is we obviously found that out like right away. There's different tactics to fighting really anything, any of the bosses especially. But honestly, spikes is the easiest route. So I really foresee them potentially changing that down the road. I don't know. I kind of submitted a giant paragraph to the devs asking like, okay, upon completing, like say when the full game is released, what is like the longevity point of things? Like, what if you complete all the bosses? What happens after that? Like, do you have to go to hardcore? Is that really your only option to really challenge yourself? So I wanted to know what they had to say about that. They have yet to respond about it, so I'm kind of hoping that they will, because they tend to respond to the ambassadors with like a proper explanation as to like what they think that might end up going down. One thing that I mentioned to them is something similar to Terraria. So if you've ever played Terraria and you've killed a wall of flesh, oh, there. Okay, so we don't want to be here just yet, especially right now. I don't want to just encounter slimes until I have at least a little bit of armor. So I'm gonna go back home. And I'm going to start smelting some stuff. I might make a little door here just to keep some of the slimes out. Because obviously, you know, we don't want to have slimes just attacking us. I'm going to wait for one thing to smelt and then make a little sword. But yeah, so the thing is that you don't necessarily like want to have it where, of course, you kill one boss and then now the game gets harder. But I think when you get to the very end, for example, like we know that after we complete the 3 things here and we've completed all the bosses, we now have to search for the Titans. And the Titans have souls and the soul essence. So here's hoping that when we get those 3 soul essence, the game kind of shifts into more of like a nightmare feel mode where things start to get harder, bosses get harder, and maybe like something happens or something gets corrupted, making more all the mobs and stuff like that a little bit different. I think if they did something like that, it could really raise the bar on making it more challenging, like after you complete it, so you continue to kind of go through Core Keeper, each being challenged every single time. And the good thing is that the devs, from what I've kind of gathered so far, they definitely are on board with like a challenge. Like the whole reason why I wanted to do this hardcore run was because the devs were mentioning that the furthest they actually can't get past the slime boss. So I was like, okay, you know what? I want to see if we can do it. You know what I mean? I want to challenge. And it's really cool to see the devs talking about doing that, because it makes you feel like, hey, like, okay, this is cool. They're doing it. Like, let's do it too. You know, like, why not? Let's just see how it goes. So it does feel like they are in the same boat, that they want to make a game that's fun, but at the same time, you know, it keeps people coming back to continuously playing the game. And, you know, the game has already like taken off really, really well. So I truly foresee that we could potentially see something like that happen, where, you know, we end up getting, I don't know, you know, maybe a harder mode or something that happens. Because I feel like hardcore mode is awesome. Like, it is a good way to challenge yourself. But at the same time, you want to be able to be challenging yourself in the regular gameplay too. So it would be nice to see something like that, because Terraria really sets the bar for allowing you to play a game, and you start off in normal mode and eventually you get into hard mode, and then it just gets harder and harder and harder as you play. So hopefully they do something like that, but if they don't, that's okay too. I'm just, you know, just my 2 cents that I would love to see something like that. So I do have my sword now, but I'm not going to be attacking anything. I might attack regular slimes, if anything. One thing I'm going to do this time, which I don't know if I'm for sure going to be able to stick to my word on this, but if I find a giant mushroom, what I'm going to do... Oh, by the way, the good thing is now, since they've recently changed how this works, if you are attacking with your pickaxe on, like, say, like these things, it doesn't lose any... any durability, because it's meant to actually just be used for hacking and slashing at the walls. So they actually changed that if you're using an item that doesn't actually... So say if I'm using it on my walls, I'm using my sword, you know, which you obviously can't hit, but I'm just saying if you could, it's not going to lose any durability because it's meant to be attacking. So that is actually just something that they recently changed. So the pickaxe is not going to be losing durability if I'm not attacking or mining stuff. So just something to keep in mind, okay? So if you decided to use the pickaxe for attacking an enemy, for example, you have nothing to worry about because it's not going to cause any problems. And it's not going to lose any durability. But I mean, at the same time too, you know, you're most likely not going to use the pickaxe to attack, but I'm just telling you that if you did decide to, you don't have to worry about losing durability. This pickaxe is dead, so I will keep that over there. That way I can use it for later on when I decide to repair it. Now, of course, my copper pickaxes will eventually be replaced, but for now, you know. Now, fishing is something that I'm probably going to maybe avoid doing in the hardcore run. I feel like fishing for me, it's probably better for me to keep farming. It is nice that you have the option between fishing and that, but I think for me, I'm not going to be going no completionist run. My real hopes are just that I can eventually find my way into potentially killing the slime boss. That's my beginner goal. Of course, if I even make it that far, I have no idea. So I just want to venture out, get as much wood as I can, start smelting stuff, eventually get like iron ready to go, and then I can start at least killing some slimes. Now, when I finally get some spikes, that's going to be my main focus for a while anyways, just to get as many spikes as I can, because I think I'm going to need a lot of them to kill the slime boss. But of course, you know, I want to also level my character too. So yeah. And if, of course, if you're doing your own run right now, you know, feel free to follow suit. I'm always looking for people to play with too. So if you're ever chilling on you're playing Core Keeper. Now I said I wasn't gonna fight those. Now those are the regular slimes that won't actually attack you. So keep that in mind. So the only reason why I actually attacked it, because I knew that it's not gonna aggro me. So I can actually walk through and kill it easily. But at the same time, you just got to be careful, because if it does attack you, now it takes about 4 hits before it can kill you. So see, look, it's not even attacking me. Like, I can even walk into it, doesn't do nothing. But of course, you don't want that to happen. You want to make sure that you don't get hit. I only have rations and mushrooms. Mushrooms will heal me, but I don't really want to use them if I don't have to. So if you're ever looking to kite first for certain bosses and stuff, like okay, so this is exactly where the boss most likely is, if I had to guess. Maybe this looks like where it's at. I can't say for sure. We'll have to find out here in a second. Just gotta kill these things real quick. Don't really like venturing into these areas, especially early on like this. I run the risk of dying. And not to say we have a lot of stuff, you know. I obviously know that I don't have too many things ready to go just yet. I'm also out of torches. Now torches, you want to keep a lot of them because it gives you a lot of range. So if you actually hold the torch in your hand, it's going to give you way more range. I believe, I don't know the exact load radius. I want to say it's 5. Okay, so this is not where the actual slime is, the slime boss I'm referring to. But probably close-ish. Remember, it's 3 hits for these guys, and it's 4 for the other dudes. So just in case you are curious. Of course, that is using a copper sword, so just in case you're just, you know, trying to figure out if it's worth you coming over here and trying to fight them yourself too. And I wouldn't suggest tanking, at least this early anyways. Is probably not the best option. But eventually, if you do have, you know, anything stronger than copper armor, you don't have to worry about that. You know, you're just gonna have a fun little time tanking it up, and I mean, slimes will eventually do no damage to you. I ate all my rations. My character isn't getting super hungry yet, so I'm not gonna worry too much. I'm just gonna keep venturing down here, see what I can find. Finding valuables isn't really like that important to me right now, because of course we're not even like gonna get an NPC for a very long time. Probably not. Ooh, I haven't gotten hit yet, so I really don't want to get hit. All right, and then if I find the giant mushroom, if you guys don't know what the giant mushroom is, I made a video explaining the stats on it and stuff. But if you want to know what the giant mushroom is, the giant mushroom is basically what it is. It's a giant mushroom. Now, when you get the giant mushroom, it gives you permanent stat increase. So it ups your HP by 25 max. So basically, it'll permanently be adjusting your HP. If I find it though, this time around, I don't know for sure if I'm going to stick to this. Like, you know, don't quote me on this, but I believe I'm going to keep it so I can try to actually put it in a crock pot with the amber larva, because if I put in it does say that you can cook them, so I want to see what happens when I do it. Now my guess is that it's not going to do anything special, but my other guess is that it potentially might give us a legendary recipe. Now I don't know if that's true, but I'm kind of interested in finding that out. Now I looked on the wiki and I looked all that stuff and I didn't see anything. Now mind you, the wiki is missing a few things, so it's like, is it possible that they're missing that recipe? Like, maybe? I don't know, because I don't see many recipes on there that are like, you know, pretty in depth. So it's entirely possible that that is something that is out there and we can see, but I mean, who knows what it offers? Who knows if you can even put them together? But I mean, from what I see, like, everything's basically viable. So I'm kind of curious on that. What the heck is that? Okay, that's something that I haven't seen before. Let's get all these things here. See, like, just because you might think that you've seen everything, I don't know. Golden heartberry. Oh, I don't know why I said I didn't see what that was before. My bad on that. I've definitely seen multiple golden heartberries. Yeah, so, okay. I don't know why that was on a pedestal, but that's pretty cool. I just haven't seen that presentation before, so interesting. All right, let's up that and continue to get more and more and more logs. and more things. And of course, putting your torches down so you always remember where you are. Now, if you remember back in Minecraft days, I don't know if you still play Minecraft, I definitely do. People always say things, put torches on the left-hand side so you know which way to walk back. Well, in Core Keeper, you can kind of do the same idea. What I would suggest doing is obviously you don't want torches being directly in the middle. Now, remember, larvae and stuff like that will, like in grubs and whatnot, they will actually take the torches, so they'll actually take and remove the torches if they see them. So you don't really necessarily want torches too close together, but at the same time too, you want to make sure that they're a little bit closer to the walls. So that way it's a little bit less likely, for example, if there's an enemy over here, and the torch is in the middle, they're just going to walk over and click. But if it's over in this corner and they have a low visibility rate, then you're not going to risk the fact of them actually coming over and hitting your torch. Okay, we have 37 copper. We're not that far away. Now, normally in an actual run of Core Keeper, what I will do is I will go through the process of focusing on the Devour first. Now, if you watch my other videos where I kind of talk about the Devour and why I like killing it first, you know the reason why is what? Because of the recall idol. Now, the recall idol is not really my main priority, just like many other things, because we're doing the hardcore run, so I don't want to risk dying, but at the same time, it would be really nice to have a recall idol. Especially right now. Like, when you realize how easy it is to obtain a gemstone and a gear, I mean, it's really not that hard. The one thing is that you got to make sure that early game especially, that you don't sit there and just like use all your early game resources, because there's going to be times where you're running low on resources and you have no way of getting them back. So just be careful on that. Just, always make sure that just because I'm using a lot of stuff doesn't necessarily mean you should as well, because everyone, like I said, plays differently, and for that reason alone, you want to make sure that you're just being a little bit conservative with certain things. For example, like some people might jump in and say, well, why are you going to smelt all your copper ore and make armor? Like, why don't you conserve that, or why don't you save some of that stuff and, use it for more pickaxes or whatnot? But it's like, for me, I want to definitely have armor right away. It doesn't matter if I have to go out and get more copper ore, because I know that the armor will make a huge difference when it comes to like my HP and whatnot. So I don't want to like be taking multiple hits from enemies and potentially dying. Okay, so we got some stuff here. Let's start making we already smelted that. Let's smelt even more. Of course, we're gonna get stats from smelting alone, and now we can make our handy dandy little cooking pot. For the sake of this video, I will try to make it look a little bit organized. I don't know how much I'm gonna get into, as I said before. I don't know how much I'm gonna get into. Oops, sorry if I just split those. Making a little farm, but I think we should farm. If you know what's good for you, always make a tiny little farm. It's always a good idea to do it. And if you're not making farms, it's not a huge problem. You're not really losing out on much, but I probably would advise on something. Okay, so let's put some stuff away. We already got a gemstone, so we can actually already make a recall potion if we wanted to. Oops, I dropped the skeleton on the ground. Let's grab that. Let's put that here. A little tin ore for later on. Keep that for some safekeeping. And we're gonna make a separate chest specifically for food next to the little food chest here. So take these. Of course, I might want to make another one of these. Let's get 2 of them, just because it'll be easier to mix 2 things together. So go with you, and we'll put some of these in there and let them do their thing. And then of course we'll put these in here because I don't need them. The slimes will keep. This can go in here. Anything food related. Now, of course, remember, if you want to auto sort things, you press R. Unfortunately, chests no longer auto sort yet. So if you are looking to auto sort things, so let's just say you have stuff all over, once again, you press R. Your inventory will automatically auto sort. So just in case you want to do that, I'm not saying that you have to, but just telling you that it is possible. Okay, I want to combine 2 of these together, make a giant mushroom thing. It's probably better not to do that, actually. I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to keep making more heart berries because we're going to need lots of HP. Okay, so we got some glow stuff, got some of these, got some crappy ones of these. We got lots of those, so we definitely don't need these anymore. So let's put these away for safekeeping later on. This is for attacking, this is for this. I'll actually keep some of this armor. Now, this is just peasant armor. It's nothing too good right now. I mean, later on down the road, it'll obviously be better. Okay. So, we have all the wood on us. Now, keep in mind, I don't need to keep the wood on the chest because everything of major importance can be kept on me at all times. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because if I die, of course, we have to restart. So why keep anything that's really important like outside? It just doesn't make any sense. Now, one thing I have mentioned to the devs is pressing the letter H in order to heal or eat, for example. I hope that down the road they eventually add that. I don't know if they will. I foresee them maybe doing it. Like I don't think their priorities are on it or anything like that right now, but it'd be really nice to do that. So anyways, regardless, I'm gonna make a little tiny thing. Now I got water right here, so it's perfect. Let's make a tiny little, just a small little farm. Just for the sake of making it, because I feel like we're gonna need something like this. As time goes on, it's gonna get it's gonna get to the point where we need some food and need some way of survival. So this is probably a good option to actually get myself into doing this. And it's a good habit to get into anyways. All right, so put some torches down, and then we'll start tilling the soil, make it look nice and beautiful. Now, I would like to get a well, but you only get wells from certain areas. So as we get more items, hopefully we do get a well. If we don't, we don't. But I mean, like, we are next to a water source, so it's not a bad idea if we don't. I also don't like the soil, so eventually I'll probably dig it up and replace it. But for now, it's not a huge problem. Because I'm not going to make it look too nifty. At the same time, I don't know what my plans are, and it's broken. Okay. So let's go get some water from the water source that is right here. Of course, like I said, leave torches so that way you know exactly which way to go. Get yourself a little water source, not even that far away. I probably could have made the farm next to it if I really wanted to, but just for the sake of just getting this started, might as well water everything that I can. Okay, now let's go over here to our seed chest, grab all of our seeds. Now, it's funny because in my videos, when I play with other people, I don't really focus on farming. It's not necessarily something that I do. But obviously, if you are playing Core Keeper, farming should be one of your priorities. It's very easy to do. It doesn't take much time at all. And honestly, at the end of the day, I mean, you get a lot of stuff. You get a lot of, not only do you get a lot of stats for doing it, but you get a lot of bonuses that include things outside of farming, right? So we'll go down the tree here in a second so you can kind of see exactly what I'm referring to. But honestly, it makes sense to farm. It really does. There's really no reason not to start farming. And if you haven't farmed yet, might as well try it. So if you go down the farming tab, for example, or gardening, I should say, you go through the ranks, then eventually you get to where it says thorny weapons. Next rank, it says 5% critical hit damage. So what does that mean? It means that after you pass the normal stuff, that is like, okay, 5% chance to gain a seed when harvesting plants, 5% food when eating plants, okay, and then you eventually get down to where it says, plus 10% thorn damage, or you get apply poison damage. So that's what I mean, is that just outside the realm of farming, you get yourself in the situation where it's actually helping you with, your normal battle that you might have, and it just stuff like that just obviously makes a huge difference. So just want to make sure that you are aware of that. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's start getting our little salvage and repair station. Oh yeah, my little favorite little salvage and repair station. Okay, let's grab these little guys. Boom, boom, boom. Get the little parts that we need and make our little repair station. Awesome. Now, eventually down the road, this will all change. So what I would probably suggest doing, especially if you're playing hardcore run, go ahead and make yourself a bunch of crappy little wood axes or wood pickaxes or whatever you really want to do. Make a bunch of little scrap parts. As for now, this is the easiest way to make them and repair, especially on the go. And of course, we want to make ourselves our little anvil. Perfect. Our little anvil, so we can finally have everything we've always wanted. For the sake of getting started, I have exactly 16 copper. I don't think I have any more than that. I might have hidden some away. No, I did not. And I'm going to smelt the tin, because why would I not do that? I accidentally made one too many pickaxes. I calculated in my mind that I wanted to get a copper helm and armor, but I'm short 3, which is okay, because there's actually copper right next to us. So for now, I'm going to make some chest piece. Let's put this away. My goal is to basically make a set of the armor. and I've seen some right here. So I'm actually going to clear this area out just because I will know exactly that this leads straight to a water source. And it's just easier for me to just get over here, especially for, you know, for having our farm so close. Okay, let's keep going up here. I think there was, yes, there it is. We were passing by before looking at it and going like, oh, there's the ore. What I'm probably going to do too, which is something that I don't normally do in Core Keeper, if you look at my stats, normally what I do, especially here, is it's under mining. I went this way last time where it says 5% chance to gain an extra ore from walls. I'm actually going to do +2 tiles visible. That way I have +4 explosive damage. Something that I didn't do last time, but I actually want to see 0.2% chance to drop a valuable item from any mined wall. So I'm going to actually like see if I would go this way first to see if that helps me out a little bit, but I don't know for sure if that's going to really change too much. And of course, we're looking for, I believe, 2 more pieces here. Let's see if I can find some. But yeah, I don't know exactly what that'll do, but my guess is that it'll just tell me if ore is further away. The thing is, ore will still shine, so I don't know. Like, let's read that again. Night vision. +2 tiles visible ore distance. So my guess is that it'll like because I can see over here, so it's a little confusing, I guess. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Well, you know what? We're gonna find out regardless. So it's not like it's not like it really matters. Okay, so now I have enough to make the helmet, and I believe the shoes or the boots were 9. So, you know, if we get more than enough of this, we can just let it smelt real quick while we work on our farm when we get back. And like I said, these videos that I'm going to be uploading for the hardcore runs, I'm going to try to do them every day, so at least we have, you know, we have some sort of a challenge every day to kind of look forward to, in hopes that eventually we could kill at least a slime. I don't know if we're going to be able to, but that is my goal. The way I see it is if I stay pretty cautious with my character, I really don't see any reason why we shouldn't be able to at least kill the slime boss. But that's not a guarantee, you know. I'm hoping to be able to kill the Devourer too, at least, because that is something that I know that we've done in the past pretty easily. In our last run that we did die a few times, but that's only because we were being very scarce with spikes. This time around, I'm going to make probably over 150 spikes and let the Devourer just run right through it, and then try to hit it like kind of from a distance if I can. I think that'll probably actually work. I don't have a guarantee on if it will. Now, I'm not shrimp mining right now. The reason why I'm not is because I'm using a copper pickaxe. Once I get into a heavier pickaxe, then I'll start shrimp mining stuff. But also, copper is something that I don't really like to sit in. Unfortunately, copper is kind of probably one of like the worst ores. I mean, it's just your starter ore, right? But it doesn't really mend too much with other things. Like tin is always around for a while, and same with iron. So those are the 2 ores that I really try to focus on as much as I can. You can also hear things hitting over here. I'm not too sure what they are, but yeah. So if you're playing and you're like, okay, oh, so see, you know what? It didn't actually show that ore. That's interesting. So maybe that visibility will help a lot. So yeah. So like if you're playing, obviously, like I said before, you do you, whatever you feel like. There's no like, okay, you know, you're wrong or you're right. I mean, if you like copper ore to start out, I mean, by all means, go crazy and get as much as you can. But I know for me, I like sticking with just mostly trying to focus on tin ore because it does get you pretty far. All right, so now we have this here, and we can probably trade that in later on. Keep some sand here, keep some turf walls. We don't necessarily need them right now. Wait for these things to smelt, and I can start creating some better stuff. I need 1 more piece for that, and then yes, I needed 9 for that. So I have more than everything that we need, so I can make the hat. Boom, boom, boom. Da, da, da. Okay. And the rest of this stuff is smelting, and my crops are doing perfect. It looks like my food is ready too, so let's take that. Now remember, as I said before, the food is not necessarily something that I need to keep, you know, worrying about, but at the same time, it's like, right now, I'm just basically going to make whatever I can and eat it because, you know, I'm the only person in the server, so why not? Why wouldn't I do that? My main goal is trying to eat things that are going to increase my overall HP if I can. Obviously, you know, if your main focus is just something that's just going to give you a little bit of hunger value, then for sure, you know, do that. But I mean, for me, that's my main focus. Is just something that's going to raise my HP temporarily and give me what I need. I don't think I need another smelter. Most of the time we're going to be out there, venturing out trying to get different ores and stuff. Right now, I'm gonna in the next video, I'm probably gonna my big focus is gonna be trying to find that slime boss and where it's located. Okay, well. We've hit our 30-minute mark, and we've done pretty decent. We got ourselves a tiny little farm. We got ourselves a tiny little base. We didn't take any damage. The damage that you see here is just because my overall HP was maxed out. And if you look on this, if I go and eat that, I'm going to start gaining HP just to max it out. Anyways, I have 161 HP. We started, I think, on 80. So not doing too bad for, what we got going on. We have, obviously, our full set of copper armor. We have a copper sword. We're ready to take a little bit of damage. Ready to face a few slimes, but not yet ready to fight the slime boss. So in our next video, I'm going to focus on obviously getting this farm ready. The reason why I planted these here, obviously the little seedlings, is because when I actually farm them, I'm going to try to get more seeds than I can. Hopefully we'll get some extra wood here. Then what I'll do is I'll make a little wood farm in this zone. That's actually the zone that leads us right over to where our water biome is. So this is just for me to actually get myself an extra seed, potentially hopefully 2 seeds if I can. So that's why I planted them so quickly. All right, so enjoy. I hope you guys are enjoying this video so far. Of course, this is a hardcore run. If you're curious what a hardcore run is, check out the beginning of the video because it showcases everything. But I will see you in the next video where we continue on and hopefully we don't die too quickly. So see you then. I'll be back and thank you for watching.